last night at By God Inspired Fellowship.
Romans 12:2. Right? Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if I had a subject for this short sermonette, if you want different, you got to think different. If you want different, you got to think different. God has given us everything we need. Everything we need is in us. He's placed it there. But the Word of God tells us that many times we look at glasses half empty instead of seeing a glass full. We look at the meteorologist on TV and he'll say there's a 20% chance of rain, and we'll dwell on a 20% chance, missing the point that there's an 80% chance of sunshine. And in our lives, many times there's 80% sunshine and 20% thunderstorms. How many of you have experienced the thunderstorms in your life? The devil wants you to think that the thunderstorms are what your life is all about. He wants you to lose hope. He wants you to be discouraged. He wants you to just move forward without seeking God at all and feeling like your life has no meaning. And this is where many people are today. We're in cycles. We have a poverty mindset around how we see our lives. And we look at social media and other things and we see how fabulous folks are on Instagram. And we measure what we see against our lives and we think there's something lacking. But God is telling me to tell each one of us today that there is no lack inside of us. There is no lack inside of your house. There is no lack inside of this house. Everything we need, God has given us. He says He needs us as we go into 2020 to have a renewing of the mind. And how that happens is we see God. If we find ourselves in the same thing over and over again, then there's something we have to learn from it. So go to God and don't ask Him, why me? Say, Lord, what do I need to learn from it? Lord, show me how I could be better. Show me what I'm missing. A lot of times we're fixated on what other people are doing that's creating an environment that's not comfortable. But the Lord is saying, the reason I haven't moved the mountain is because I want you to learn from what's in front of you. He says, don't conform to the patterns that you may find yourself in. If you are doing the same thing, expecting a different result, the world says that's insanity. But the world wants you to stay doing the same thing. God says that I have a vision for your life. I have a hope and a future. I know what I want you to be. I want you to soar like an eagle. But before you can soar, you got to release the baggage that's keeping you from flying. God is saying in order to release the baggage, it's that 20% that we see, those thunderstorms. We hold on to them, but we don't release it because there's 80% a clear pathway to soaring. So He's saying tonight, don't conform to the patterns of this world. If you want different for 2020, you have to think different. And the Word of God says, as a person thinketh, that's who you become. So will you choose tonight to still think the same way? Or will you choose to think differently about that hope and that future that He's promised you? Repeat after me. My former may be bad, but my latter will be better.